Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Be Well TV Live. I'm Heidi Brumbaugh with Be Well TV. Today, I'm excited to be here in the studio with the band wHEEL. They are visiting from Pennsylvania, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where they are probably the most popular two-piece band in the city. We'll hear more about that later. But first, I want to show you a little bit about their music and tell you, share with you why their music is such feel-good music. Right now, we're gonna welcome their latest video release, Good Day.
It's a good day for being alive. It's a good day. There ain't no clouds in my sky. With a pen in my hand, life's an open book. On my feet in the sand, sitting by a brook. It's a good day. Oh, it's a good, good day. Everything you've ever wanted is right here, right It's a good day. Whoever you are, it's a good, 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 good day to be a star. It's a good day. Have yourself a good day.
See what I mean? That is just feel-good music. And now I want to welcome the band. Here we have Jazz, we have Paul, and we have Sean right behind me. And we would like to thank Play with a Purpose for contributing their fun toys and helping the guys make the grand entrance. Paul, welcome. Jazz, Sean, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So I want to share with the audience, first of all, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want you to know that the guys are in town because tomorrow night we are doing a concert here from Be Well TV. It's going to be available on the Be Well TV website, bewelltv.org. We'll stream it to YouTube and Facebook and wherever streaming is allowed, and of course it'll live online forever. So thanks guys for being here.
Thank you for having us again. Yes, for sure. And we brought our hogs.
Yeah, I know.
We drove all the way down from Pennsylvania on these. Took us a
I
while.
thought that was a good. Okay, so actually, you've done bike trips like that before, and
Well,
that's
not-
kind of what.
not on a tricycle,
Maybe
but
not
yes.
quite like
Yes.
that. But I do want to talk about
Okay.
your bike ride because I know that that opens the door to a lot of history about the band. So.
Then it started the whole band, yes.
A little bit to share with the audience. I've known you for many years, and we've worked together in event production, corporate events. You're very well-rounded. You're a jack of all trades. You do many different things.
Master of
But I remember you talking about
Getting ready.
wanting to do this bike ride and getting ready to do this bike ride, and all of a
Right.
sudden, like one day, like we met up on a gig, and all of a sudden it was healthy jazz and not just AV Tech jazz.
Yeah.
And that was right before I think you took the bike ride.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the bike ride. What did
Okay.
you do?
So in 2016, I got on a bicycle in St. Augustine, Florida, and rode solo across the United States to San Diego, California. And it was just something that it's kind of like one of them things that you sit around a campfire and you're like, you know what I ought to do? Because I talked about it for, like you said, for years. And all of a sudden, I don't know how to explain it other than my seat needs some oil.
It's a little squeaky. It's a little
Sorry,
squeaky.
TV land, but-
Eventually, live events will be back, and these tricycles will be back in action. But they've been sitting for a little while.
So, what was I saying? I don't even remember. So I just got obsessed with it. And I'm like, I just got to do this. I have to do this. And it was like, I ate, slept, and drank that. And I started to eat healthy, and I lost a bunch of weight, unlike now. But I lost a bunch of weight, and I was kind of fit, and I did it. And oddly enough, riding across the country made me more unhealthy because I gained weight because I ate whatever I wanted on the trip. But then I kept doing that after I made the trip. But anyways, I did the trip. I came back, and I thought, I need to make a documentary because I had a camera with me and all that. And I did this documentary about it, and then I needed music. So this is how Half Wheel began. So I wrote all this music for the documentary, which is available on the website and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So I wrote all this music. I called Sean up. I said, hey, why don't you come over and play some guitar on all these tunes because I need a soundtrack for the movie. He said, sure. He came over, and we needed to call it something. So we're like, we'll call it Half Wheel because that's a bike term. Look it up in TV land if you don't know what it means, because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing because I'm not quite sure what it means myself, but it's a bike term. Anyways, so we did the music, which is why we started out as a two-piece. We were actually a two-piece instrumental band for the first 3 albums, and then we kind of progressed and then added vocals and lyrics and all that kind of stuff on the 4th album, and now we are a 5-piece band, and Paul's our bass player. He's one of the new additions. And this guy, Sean, he's been here forever. And that's kind of in a nutshell. Did I cover everything? I think so.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, we have to address
Okay.
what made you the most popular two-piece instrumental band in Pittsburgh.
Because we were the only 2-piece instrumental band in Pittsburgh. We are still on Reverb Nation's charts for like Pittsburgh instrumental band, like still, because I don't think anybody else is instrumental in Pittsburgh. I mean, we're instrumental, all right. But we just happen to play instrumentals too. So yeah, that's how we ended up getting on the charts and staying on the charts for like 2 years there. And then that grew into other things with the band and gave us a little bit of a what would you say, a launch pad for when we actually started to do the songs with the lyrics and stuff. People kind of knew us from the movie and all that kind of stuff. And here we are in Florida, loving it.
So last year was, I don't even like to talk about last year
No.
or kind of the situation that we're still in, but I will talk about what you produced. That was a very positive piece of music and a fun video. I think it's a lot of fun. Where did that come from?
Good Day. So I had that song for quite a while. Believe it or not, I didn't write it last year, but it was the time to release it last year because every band was doing something about quarantine and being isolated and all that, and we had this happy song. I was like, gosh, everybody's so sick of hearing about being quarantined. Yes, we get it. You have to isolate. You have to be by yourself. Last thing I want is another song reminding me of that. So, he came over, and I almost threw that song away like 6 or 7 times. I'm like, it's just not happening, right? Because the drums in that song, I don't know if, like, there's a drum at the back, it's a Casio keyboard, right? And in the studio, I wanted to like get certain sounds off of it via MIDI, but I couldn't, so I actually recorded the Casio keyboard. And I'm like, this is gonna be the only song I've ever recorded in my life that actually has a Casio keyboard. I really don't know how I feel about that. So I recorded it, and then we played real drums over top of it for the, when everything kicks in. But he came over, And of course, what happens is I usually write these tunes, or he'll come over with an idea, maybe hearing the music, and I'll be like, yeah, it kind of goes like this, and then he makes it blossom into a beautiful flower. But then we did the video, like we recorded that song, put it out on the album, and like everybody started to react to it. So we did this video. We shot that video with a GoPro, like just in my backyard having fun. And I think it comes across because we didn't want it, we tried to do a photo shoot for the album where we had a nice big production and all that. And then it just wasn't right. And we were a little kind of disgusted, and we went down to the little pub, Monaco's. We live there. Yeah, Monaco's. Hey, no kidding. We came down to Florida. We're here for a week. They posted that they're closing the bar for a week. They can't put the lights on if we're not there. Seriously. But yeah, if you're ever in Pittsburgh, Monaco's. Anyways, so we go down there. We're disgusted because we have this nice big set, and we're all dressed up, ready for this photo shoot. We go down to Monaco's. I got my camera. We're sitting at a booth drinking some beers, and I'm like, that ended up being the album inside and everything, not the cover. The cover is actually a little pub in France that had a bicycle by it, and I'm like, well, that's got to be the album cover, because like every album has a bicycle involved somehow because of the whole bicycling the Southern Tier, which, by the way, that's the name of the movie. I don't know if we said that, but
and we will share that. We're gonna get that from you, and we're gonna put it on the website so people can watch it, and it's fascinating.
Kinda, yeah. It was very interesting because when you do something like that, you have people ask you like, well, weren't you scared at times? Like you were in the middle of the desert riding a bike. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't just wake up there. Like, I had time to prepare. I had like 2 months before I got to the desert mentally to say, I'll be in the desert in 2 weeks or whatever it is. Yeah, and then you're riding through it, and then you're like, yeah, I am crazy for doing this. But we did that. So hALF did a song called The Desert. So the first album has all these weird song titles because it all goes with bicycling the Southern Tier. So like, there's a song called Keep Pedaling or Keep Moving, and then Tunnels and The Desert and Almost There or whatever. I don't even know the song titles because when you play instrumentals, you have nothing to remember the song titles.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna do such and such song. I'm like, how's that? No, I don't know. Just start playing it.
But we did a video for it, and it has some of the footage from the desert in it. So if you share that, people get to see that too. It's kind of fun. But that's really what launched the band, was just my desire to go cross country. And I was going to do it again. Speaking of how bad 2020 was, I thought, wow, this is going to be the perfect year because I got nothing to do but ride a bicycle. So I was going to do the northern route. So I went on the southern route, which is like Florida, Alabama, Texas, Mississippi, all those states to California. So I want to go the northern route. And I thought 2020 would be great. And I had just finished up talking to our buddy Vince that helps out the band a lot. Yeah, Vince. Anyway, he and I just hung up the phone. We were going to get ready. We were going to do a short ride from Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C. That's a short ride, but a week long or whatever it was, and kind of to prep me. And then I was going to go do this Northern Tier, and I walked down my stairs and I tripped and I biffed it, and I sprained my ankle really bad. So that ruined.
As if the year wasn't bad enough.
Exactly. Yeah. So at that point in time, like, it was just okay.
Well, thank God, thank God you're back in the saddle.
Yeah, right.
So I want to talk about this video. Where in the world did this dinosaur come from?
Didn't come from me.
You filled that one.
Yeah, we just kind of were winging the whole video. We were sort of done, and I was pulling up in my truck to his house, and little dinosaur on a motorcycle is seriously. I'm like sitting there like I didn't come from the pub yet. It's really there. And so we went over and we asked the people. We said, "Can we film these kids doing this? And plus, why would you even want to do that in the first place?" And kids said, "Wanted to put the dinosaur costume on and get on a motorcycle. I said, works for me, man. That's cool." So.
And he was having a good day.
Oh.
She.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I mean, it's hard to tell the gender of the dinosaur.
I'm not sure how that dinosaur identifies, so I just left it alone. I just said, "Hey, get on the bike," and it's as simple as that. It's so unscripted. It was completely, utterly unscripted,
but necessary.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Happy accident.
And the funny thing is, like, we got the best footage we could, because I got this little GoPro and I'm running alongside her on this, right? And I wanted to say, can you turn around and do this again? But then I thought, like, if she turns around and gets hit by a car, I don't want to be the guy responsible. Like, if she does that on her own, that's bad enough. But if I'm the guy, like, okay, now do
That
this.
would be bad, yeah.
So we used the footage that we got. And,
Probably for the best. And whose dog?
that's
Whose dog
that's
is that?
Demi the dog. Yes, he's our little studio guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. He's our little studio guy. He's inevitably on every recording barking or something. We posted a video. He was singing a song called Drifting, and he's belting it out. I mean, he's really feeling it. And I have him in frame, and then I look down, and the dog's sitting there, and the dog's like, like just not impressed with it at all.
There are times you'll hear a tambourine on a song, and it's really not a tambourine. It's Demi's collar as he's shaking, and then we're recording.
Well, if it fits into the tune.
It's got impeccable timing, so that's
Yeah, that's pretty
good.
impressive.
Exactly.
I'm not surprised that he managed to pick that up from you.
And that
Musical family.
Yeah, exactly. And with what we're doing in Pittsburgh, it's a little different because Pittsburgh has a very distinct Pittsburgh sound, wouldn't you say? Like it's got its own roots, but this is a little bit more. I always think it's a little bit more Midwestern, like Minneapolis type sound, like because I lived there, and if we played there, would kind of be like every other band maybe. But as far as like what you said about being a happy song and stuff, that's what we're trying to do. Like we're not like consciously sitting down saying like, well, let's write all these happy songs, but most of the songs that we're writing and the music that we're playing is upbeat and that kind of stuff. Even though maybe some of the lyrical content, isn't always the happiest. Most of the album's a feel-good album.
Yeah.
And whenever we decided to put the band together, this guy never doesn't smile, and we're like, we got to get him to play. See, we're like, we got to get him to play bass, and thank God he did. And then we have so our drum. So let me segue into our drummer. So we actually have two other guys. Tony Ramirez is a guitar player, and Jamie Linhart's our drummer. And they weren't able to come down, so we asked their permission, if you will, about coming down and performing without them. They gave us their blessing, so they're here in spirit. But we do have our drummer Josh Shank, who played on some of the songs on the album, coming down to play tomorrow. But he got stuck in Washington, D.C. because of the terrible weather, so he flew down and isn't quite here yet.
Just when you think it's safe to fly again, there's a thunderstorm.
Right. I mean, what are you going to do? So.
Yeah, I think we've all learned to kind of roll with the punches and accept the fact that plans change.
Yeah.
So, all right, so tomorrow night, I would love for everyone to tune in for the concert. Can you tell everyone kind of what to expect? We've got the feel-good music. Is it a lot of original music? Go ahead, Sean.
Predominantly covers that were.
He changed the set list and didn't tell you.
Predominantly covers. They're all songs that I wrote years ago that Jazz stole from me. A mix of covers and new originals that get. They're obviously recorded and everything, but we haven't officially released them yet.
So we're privileged enough to have
You're
these
the first
early-
folks to hear them.
Fantastic. Hopefully you heard that at home, folks. You will be the first to hear these original tunes. Feel-good tunes.
They're all copyrighted, so don't try to steal them.
Yeah, I did that years
Otherwise,
ago
we're
when I
British
wrote them.
there all of a sudden.
When I wrote them years ago, I had to make sure that was taken care of. But no, and the covers in the same, very similar genre of what we're doing in the first place. So I think it meshes really well.
Any influences in the musical world that?
That we would attribute to these types of songs.
Yeah.
I would say more his answer on this one.
Well, if I answer that, I'm going to say The Cure, The Church, Four Non-Blondes, and all that genre. That because we did a bunch of covers from them that you made, but we didn't do the popular covers. Like well, maybe with The Cure and The Church we did, but the other bands that we covered, probably people would never even know their covers. But lately, I don't know, Tesla-ish, weirdly, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Tesla.
Tesla, even
For
like
me,
some Zeppelin.
this band is so enjoyable because it's so different from what I play. I play all the arena rock stuff. I'm in a couple other bands that play all that genre. So this is really neat for me to come with these guys and play acoustic, upbeat, happy stuff.
And that's what keeps you smiling throughout the show.
Always, yeah.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you're here to play with them.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you guys are here.
Yes.
And yeah, did you want to say something else?
I don't remember. I just pointed.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yes.
Something over there.
Well, no,
Okay.
I was like, yes, like that's why he smiles.
Paul's
Yes.
used to playing with professionals, but
Now he has to deal
plays
with
with
us.
us.
Well, we look forward to
It's an
having
adjustment.
you guys tomorrow night. We look forward to having the viewers at home join us for the concert tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, on BeWellTV.org or on Facebook or YouTube. Just look for Be Well TV. Guys, thanks for being here and looking forward to tomorrow night. Everyone
you.
at home,
Thank you.
be well.